There is a ranch in northern Utah. It is considered the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing phenomena on Earth. Animal mutilations, bizarre UFO sightings, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. For 20 years, the federal government tried to find answers and failed. Now, a new team of dedicated scientists, researchers, and experts has taken over. They are determined to solve the mystery and reveal the secret of Skinwalker Ranch.
Dice Man Enterprises exclusively presents a talk show that will get to the bottom of things once and for all. And now here's your host for Let's Get to the Bottom of That, three weirdos on a mic. Ooh, yeah. Gonna talk Skinwalker Ranch. I forgot I don't have my pants. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Let's Get to the Bottom of That. My Conspiracy Nuts. This is Byron Dice. Check it out. The intro you just heard, they were talking about there's a new team. That's us.
Yeah.
All the bunch of weirdos on a mic.
Yep.
We're here to talk about the Skinwalker Ranch and the secrets. Because they said the government's trying to do it for years, but now there's a new team of scientists and weirdos.
And we're going to get to the bottom of
That's it. That's it. Hey guys, every week I'm joined by a bunch of weirdos on a mic, and we cover a topic that has been left out in the public square, unintended and covered with questions from the official story. So I want you to do me a favor, get your tinfoil hats back on, sit back and relax, and let's get to the bottom of Skinwalker Ranch.
Rawr.
Want to welcome back to the table or the mic, Susan and Kayla.
Woo! Hello.
It's been quite an exciting ride. We just got off the heels of Roswell, Area 51, and now we're going to talk some Skinwalker Ranch. Now, I'm going to say this. Since the inception of this show, it has been very clear to me that I should have done this show already, just like Area 51.
Yeah.
Because people have requested, when are you going to do Skinwalker Ranch? When are you going to do this? When? And I've always kind of put it in the back burner, like, I don't know what that is. I haven't done any research.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. I'm not talking about it.
And they can thank me for that.
Oh, really? What are you talking about?
Because remember when I was saying these are things that we need to hit? I was
Oh, yeah. Susan went down a list of things. And thank you for that, Susan. And this is for Joey.
Dang, dude. Thanks, bro.
Which one's mine?
Beta mail.
This is yours.
Oh, I love it.
That was just in a jar. We just opened
hot.
it up, and it smells great.
Yeah, we got that mailed in fresh
From Little
Istanbul.
Guapo.
Yeah, Little Guapo.
That was fresh dookie.
He sent a fart in a jar.
Oh, my God.
Oh, remember our fart in the jar business idea?
Well, sure. Is that taken
Hey,
off yet?
Don't say that on
not
the
yet.
air.
Oh, yeah. Somebody will get that.
Yeah, let's leave that under wraps for now.
I mean,
Already
that
somebody's
was a
thinking.
great
When she
business
said
idea
that, wait
late
a
at
minute.
night.
Oh, I got to drink the coffee here. Hold on.
Oh, here it goes.
Dude, we should. That'll be our merch. Part of our merch, we'll have a T-shirt, we'll have a hat, we'll have a hot jar filled with something.
It's supposed to be filled with fart. I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be
Well,
filled
they
with-
don't
Maybe
know
it's
that.
like alien goop.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, "What's in here?" They'll open it, they'll crack it.
We'll
They'll just
call
get a
our
hot
fart in the
whiff.
jar alien goop.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, let's not.
Well,
If I get started on fart jokes, dude, we're done.
I mean, it's over.
We'll go a different direction.
We're done.
Okay. Let me just start off by saying, well, no, I'll get to it in a minute. We're just going to start on Skinwalker Ranch. If anybody's not heard of this, welcome to the club. I hadn't either. And probably most of our listeners are probably going, Byron, you're an idiot.
Well, I have heard.
If you watch enough videos on it, you'll have nightmares for months.
Yeah, I heard of Skinwalkers before, but I did not.
You just heard the
know.
term Skinwalker and what it is,
Well,
not the
I-
actual place.
I've
the ranch.
watched videos of people like, "Oh my gosh, it's a Skinwalker." And,
Oh, gotcha.
And you know, it'll be like someone imitating their dad, and he's like, "My dad's not here with us right now." That's a skinwalker. You know.
What were you watching last night?
What do you mean?
When you were in the basement, what were you watching last night?
I didn't watch anything. I was just going down. Man,
Rabbit hole.
sometimes doing research for you guys, I got to go down some dark.
Wow.
Dark.
He was going
passages.
down something
Thank
dark
you.
because at like 11 o'clock at night, I just hear like worship music blasting in the basement. Like,
I had to
Like you
cast.
had to get out of there?
I had to
I just
cast
thought,
some
oh, he's
demons,
just having
dude.
a good time with Jesus. And he
Wow.
comes upstairs, he's like, I don't know.
I had to
was
get that
getting
off
scared.
my
turn
I
on
had
the
to get that
worship
off my
music.
funk.
Well, dude, I mean, you got to protect your eyes. You got to protect your soul, and I was going down. I mean, we'll read about it today in some of my notes, but I was going down kind of a dark occultism of the Skinwalker.
Oh, we're definitely going to
lore.
read about it.
It
Yeah.
gets
We're going
heavy.
to read it.
All the lovely
Yeah.
tribes and their.
All right. Well,
Interesting.
let's start at the high level, which is going to tell our audience, what's, and I'm sure everybody knows what Skinwalker is,
Skinwalker
but
Ranch?
for that person that didn't know, and even me, what is it and where is it at? Well, it's also known as Sherman Ranch. I didn't know that. It is a property. This is an actual physical
Well,
property.
before it was taken over by the Shermans.
Yeah, the
though.
Shermans had it.
But
Not to be.
it was something before the Shermans had it though.
Yeah, it was called moonlighting.
Yeah.
What? Just go with
You're
it.
like,
That's the one.
You're like, of course, yeah.
Of course.
Cheeks out. Okay, this is an actual physical ranch, like cows, and this was a ranch. It's located in the Uintah Basin in northeastern Utah. Now, the Uintah is a tribe of Native Americans that lived in this country. I've never heard of the Uintah. I heard of Cherokee and Chickasaw
of
and the
Ute.
Navajo.
It's called Utah.
Oh, Uintah. So I already messed that up.
Tribe?
Sorry,
UTE
Rachel
tribe.
Perry.
Ute tribe.
So
No,
it's
she's
called
talking
the
about
Ute.
tribe, but that's you're
But that's from
Right.
their land, right?
Yeah,
The
where it
Uintah.
was as Uint. Yeah, Uintah.
Is it Uintah or Unta?
It's just Uinta. Uintah.
I call it Uintah.
I've heard
Hey,
it
we're
both
get-
ways.
Hey, you know what? That's where they got Utah
You
from.
know what?
right?
They
right.
dropped the
It's
I
in
in.
Utah.
They dropped the I in. Say, you know, we're gonna call the state Utah.
Unta.
Uintah. Anyway, I digress. It's in the United States. It sits on 512 acres of land. It gained notoriety due to the enormous reports of paranormal phenomenon, including, you guessed it, UFO sightings, which we just talked about Roswell, Area 51. This is in Utah. How far is this from Nevada? Nevada borders Utah, correctly?
Right.
Okay.
I'll look that up.
Yeah, look that up, Jamie.
It's in the same vein.
Quick on different
So they also
names.
have crop circles. We have our famous animal mutilations. And they also have encounters with cryptid creatures,
Yeah.
such as what Jason. I miss Jason.
Yeah.
He's not here.
Love
And I
Jason.
just called you Jason.
It's all right.
Sorry about
Aw.
that. Joey just mentioned Skinwalker. It's a shape-shifting entity from the Navajo folklore, which, according to you, you got really deep in it last night. And you're going to tell us all about that in a second.
Yeah.
All right, it's 7 hours and 50 minutes away from Area 51.
Oh,
Yeah, but to an alien spacecraft, that's like 30
that's like seconds,
Yeah.
dude.
You open this portal,
You're there.
Mm.
Now, the earliest known inhabitants of this land played a big part in its ominous. Dang it! Did I say that right?
Yeah, ominous.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Whew. Always when I
Ominous.
see, I even
Ominous.
got you.
Ominous.
I'm just gonna say the scary name. How about
It
that?
just sounded so much like ominous. I was like, wait, is it ominous?
He
or
does that.
The property lies on land traditionally inhabited by the Ute tribe. That's where they get the Uintah Basin. Okay, gotcha. But the term skinwalker comes from the Navajo legend and translates to, quote, by means of it. It goes on all fours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Okay. In Navajo culture, skinwalkers are evil witches with the ability to shapeshift into any animal or human. The skinwalker legend is not well understood outside the Navajo culture, but what little is known about it by outsiders is enough to inspire scary stories.
Dude,
Of
we
all
were looking at the
varieties.
same. We were looking at the same stuff for this.
I
Where
don't-
you got the same notes?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Skinwalker. I just
Well, because you put a skin on.
What do you mean? What do you not get about it?
Well, I mean, what skinwalker? I mean,
You're walking in a skin.
I'm a skinwalker.
Well, sure,
I
but
got
you're not
skin,
walking
I'm
somebody
walking
else's
around.
skin.
So it is.
I think it's something that's not normally human, right?
They can change. They're
skin.
shapeshifters. Okay.
So they can change the looks of their skin.
They can change the look. There's a couple reasons why they can change the looks of their skin, but on top of that too, it is believed in their lore that when you wear the skins of another predator, it gives you power too. So they walk in the skin of a wolf, and they walk in the skin of. That's why, like a lot of those Navajo tribes, they won't wear predator skin. They'll wear like buck skin and stuff like that on their clothes because of this. Because of the skinwalkers, they're so fearful of them, and for good reason too, man.
Now, the legend goes that during a time of hostility between the Utes and the Navajo, members of the Navajo decided to unleash skinwalkers upon their enemies, and those skinwalkers still stalk the land today.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. So let's talk about in the early 90s, 1990s. It became widely known because it was owned by Terry Sherman, hence the name Sherman Ranch.
TS.
Back up, Terry.
Sherman and his
Put
family.
her in reverse, Terry.
Yeah, hey, Terry, get out of here, Terry.
Get out of here, Terry.
Oh, gosh, that's funny. Sherman and his family reported experiencing a variety of strange occurrences, including cattle mutilations, strange lights in the sky, and all kind of bizarre creatures they encountered. Okay, now 1996. I'm doing a lot of fast forwarding. Joey's going to go into some cultism. But in 96, the ranch was purchased by an aerospace billionaire, Robert Bigelow. Now, he conducted extensive research into the paranormal phenomenon through his organization, the National Institute for Discovery Science.
So the Shermans only lived there for 2 years.
NIDS. Yeah, 2 years. And they basically like tense up, cheeks out, we're out of here because this is freaking us out.
Yeah.
The Shermans.
Yeah, the Shermans like, we've had enough.
Well, yeah. So the reason being for that, the Shermans. Do you have that?
Yeah, I got the story.
Oh, you got the story of the
Well, hit
Shermans?
it.
Well,
Well, hit
yeah.
it.
Before I talk about Bigelow, give me some deets on the Shermans.
Well, one night Terry went outside and saw a large wolf, and apparently he went to shoot at it because obviously, why would you want a wolf on your land?
Well, sure, you don't want
and
to
he
kill
shot
your
at it,
cow.
and he says that he saw the bullets go right through this wolf. It didn't do any damage. He went to chase it, and the tracks just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like there
Yeah.
was no trace of the wolf anymore.
Yeah. The wolf. So the wolf itself, which I know you read this in that book. I can't remember.
Yeah, and I heard it on
somewhere.
that those guys' podcast. They did an
Yeah.
audio book of it, and I was like, what is happening right now?
But the wolf was by all lore, a dire wolf, which is basically a wolf. It looks like a wolf, but it's the size of a bear.
Yeah, they said it was
Yeah,
huge.
he says it was huge. Yeah.
A ginormous wolf, right? And when you listen to the story in this book, we'll mention it later. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But this wolf was walking across their land. This was the first day that they moved into the property. Very first day. They're like, just got everything set up. The cattle, they're out there grazing the land.
That's not good.
And they look across and they see this big white wolf with blue eyes just walking. And up until that point, he's never experienced anything like that because the wolf was almost, normally you see an animal out there, it's kind of skirmish, but not this one.
Yeah, they said it was kind of nonchalantly just kind of,
it just walked
I don't
in.
care about anything right now.
Yep, it just walked in, walked across his land. They're watching it. They walk up to it, super calm. Some reports even say that the kids even touched it on its nose,
That's right. They said they petted it.
that they petted it,
Yeah.
and it just continued to nonchalantly walk over to its calf. And then within seconds, it just started tearing this
Yeah,
calf
just snapped
apart.
it. Yeah.
Just started ripping at its flesh. And at that
Yeah,
point,
before that, they didn't see any aggression at all.
none,
Just like,
none at all. And then Sherman goes up, and he's got a revolver. I can't remember. It's like a 44.
he said
Magnum.
it was a 38 Magnum.
38 Magnum,
Yeah.
pretty good sized gun.
Yeah.
Sits there and just dumps shots into this thing. Well, let me back up. At first, he's hitting it with something like a pole.
Oh,
like
yeah, he
like
had a bat.
A bat.
He had a
He's
baseball bat,
nailing
yeah.
it. He's like, get off my cap. And they're fighting. Then he's dumping shots into it. He empties his entire clip into this wolf. Unscathed. Nothing wrong. He yells at his son, go get my 30-06 rifle
30-06, right.
off the truck. The son comes over, dumps a clip into it, and then I can't remember what exactly got him to finally let go. I think it just all of a sudden just dropped the calf dead on the ground, and then literally just slowly walked off.
Yeah.
And then they tried to track it back into the woods, and
no blood or anything.
no blood, nothing. They followed the tracks, and then all of a sudden the tracks about 40 to 50 feet away from a river disappeared. And he's like, there's no way this thing could have jumped across. Like, we're still 40, 50 feet out.
I mean, maybe it was one of the wolves from Twilight, though.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe it was Edward Collins.
Or maybe he jumped on a
Yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been an alien. Maybe he changed into an orb.
Or is this a psyop?
Yeah, this might be PSYOP, dude. I'm going PSYOP,
Yeah.
but
We have government
So what is the
officials
difference
dressed up.
between a dire wolf and a werewolf? I know this is a little bit off.
Oh,
topic,
good one.
But I didn't know.
Should I look that up?
so a dire wolf
Curious.
is
Oh, you got it?
I'll
yeah,
look it.
dude.
I'll
Listen,
look it.
I'm a D&D nerd.
Oh, you've got-
to all
yeah.
my
Oh, you
listeners.
know.
I'm on his
know?
sessions.
So yeah, so a dire wolf is a wolf that's basically the size of a bear. Huge.
Okay. And a
huge
werewolf?
wolf. A werewolf is a lycanthrope that can change from a
Human.
man to a werewolf.
Wouldn't
Okay.
that be what a skinwalker is, though?
Not necessarily because it's a
So the
shapeshifter.
werewolf could be not as big as a dire wolf.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, or
What
it could
kind
be
of
as big.
parent lets their kid pet some rando wolf?
I know.
I mean,
that's what I was
seriously.
thinking. I was like, how are kids petting a wolf, a
No.
wild animal?
Hey, Terry.
Well, it's kind of weird, but you think
Bring it
about
up,
it because
Terry.
the
I am
story is
thinking about it.
he is so calm. Like,
Yeah, he was just not
Well,
just.
let me. Okay, here's
Look, I feel
here's
like
a
I
real
love
story.
animals, and I would never
There-
touch
you remember
a
that-
wild wolf.
You remember that raccoon? Out,
That's a raccoon. That's
no. That's the same story.
oh heck no, it's not.
it's the same story.
It is a
dude.
carnivore and an omnivore. Or wait,
Anyway,
What?
wait,
Who
raccoons
is?
are omnivores.
No, they're not.
Vegetarian.
No,
They are?
They'll eat.
I thought they ate nuts and berries.
they'll eat it all, dude. But they got rabies in them.
I thought they had. That's a trash pan, all right?
Anyway.
Regardless, I'm not going to get mauled.
You
by
were
a
wanting to
raccoon.
pet this thing, and I had to
I
sit
did
there and
pet it.
convince you.
I touched it. I
Oh
fed it.
my gosh!
I fed a raccoon.
You would
Oh
touch this
wow!
wolf.
Have you ever seen that video of the dude
My
sitting
grandma
on the
and my
porch?
grandpa, they feed possums and raccoons every
Yes.
night. They
Oh,
just
yeah.
leave food out.
Have
for
you
them.
seen that guy that's to feed them on his porch, and there's like 50 of them?
Yeah, that's my
Climb-
grandpa.
Is that him?
That is my grandpa. Well, no, it's
Please,
not
get
him
some
in the video,
video
but
of
that
that.
is my grandpa.
I need some video
We had
of
a
that.
I
pet
do need to take a
possum.
video.
We had a pet possum.
Dang, dude,
It
you
wasn't
guys.
really a pet. We called him Grease.
It's a great name.
Well, because he ate the grease. We'd throw
Yeah.
grease out the bag. He just would,
No, it was when we, when you grill and then the grease
Yeah.
gets down on the
What's
bottom
what
of
I'm
the
talking
grill.
about.
Grease,
Yeah.
Grease is out there getting his grub on.
Like, there's Grease.
He's out there just numbing.
But there's a very real difference in a raccoon
Yeah,
and seeing
totally
this
different.
rando wolf. Okay, we're talking a wolf near your
as
children.
big as your child.
Yeah.
Probably
Well,
bigger than the
And
child.
it's bigger than a normal wolf.
I mean,
too.
I wouldn't even let a
it's
rando
as big as a bear.
dog.
Like, are you kidding me?
Well, okay, so here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too. There is also, and I don't know if you touch on this at all.
I'll try. I
But
hope I
there's
don't
also
touch it.
stories of behavior manipulation too. A lot of the stories from like the Sherman family and stuff.
Yeah, they had a wild ride for those 2 years.
Yeah, they did.
oh, they
man.
saw all types of things.
I mean,
So
his
behavior
dogs were melted
manipulation.
into
Wait,
butter.
Behavior.
What is that?
touch on that?
So I'm touching on that because it's like there's moments where the family would feel extreme fear or euphoric feelings around these phenomena. Just, and you calculate that into the wolf. It's almost like the wolf wanted them to feel that way.
Okay.
And then he's petting them and he's like, now watch what I'm about to do. Boom, grabs it.
It's kind of like a mind trick to
A
like
mind trick.
traumatize.
And that it's weird because that was, like I said, it was the first day. And do you have any other stories on the Sherman family, or was it just the
I
manual?
don't have any like stories, but I know that they saw like mysterious objects in the sky, flashing lights, circles in the field, mysterious voices, and
Yeah.
Mutilations.
Mutilation. Yeah. So there was a story of, so there was like poltergeist activity. There's a story of them, like the mom came home one day, took all the groceries out of the car, put all the groceries up into the
I heard this. Yeah.
into the refrigerator, into the pantry, and then literally seconds later turns back around and everything's back in its bag
No,
on the table.
heck no.
She's
Okay.
like,
Hey,
I'm
Terry,
surprised they made it 2 years.
I was about
Terry?
to say.
Terry,
Yeah.
2 years.
Pack it up,
get the U-Haul back here.
put it in reverse, Terry. But Yeah, and then I mean, he was a cattle farmer.
Well, sure.
And he was
losing. Looks like great land.
He was losing cattle from like stress. He's like, how did this die? Oh, he was just overly stressed.
Oh, that's fun.
What was he stressed about?
We're about to
Yeah.
talk about that.
No idea. You
I'm
have
gonna-
some on there?
Yeah,
Well,
I do
they-
have
oh,
something
yeah.
on that when I get to it.
Hit it.
Well, let's just keep going the timeline here. So, Mr. Bigelow, billionaire, buys it
Just
from
a
the
Bigelow?
buys it from Sherman because he hears all this stuff.
Is he related to Deuce Bigelow? or-
Probably so. He probably dropped
He's a-
deuces on
he's
the
a big-
cows.
Big money guy. Million.
He investigated it for several years, but everything that he did remained secretive. He didn't release it to the public. None of his findings, nothing. So 2016, the property was sold to a real estate firm called Adamantium Real Estate. Now, you may have heard of adamantium because there's a guy called Wolverine. He has claws that comes out of his bones because his bones are infused with adamantium.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which is a fictional metal.
Well, that's just neither here nor there. It could so
That's the one that's owned by Brandon Fugel, correct?
yeah, Brandon Fugel. Here's what's interesting. This when he purchased this property, Brandon Fugel, by the way, is a chairman of Colliers International in Utah. He leads the largest commercial real estate firm in the Intermountain West. Okay, he's a prominent business leader and entrepreneur. But when he bought this property from Bigelow, it was under the Adamantium Real Estate LLC, and his name wasn't anywhere. So it was kind of a hush deal. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want my name out there. It was kind of an anonymous purchase. Well, he did this because he was going to create this TV show,
Yeah, the Skinwalker Ranch.
The Skinwalker Ranch, which was aired in 2020, March 31st to be exact, on the History Channel. So once that came out, so 2016, all of that. So 2016, I think they filmed in 2019. That was season 1.
And let me hop in here real quick.
Hoppers.
One of the things about the show, because I remember talking to you about that.
Yeah.
One of the deals with the show, because his plan was to shoot the show, but his also one of the strenuent like deals in order for them to shoot on the property is that they could not fabricate anything. So
right.
in their agreement, it's like you cannot this cannot be fake.
Yeah. Whoever's producing this, y'all can't just come up with stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, continue on.
Well, so when he got, I think that's why it was anonymous, because he was thinking about doing this show. So then it came out that Brandon Fugel was the owner of Adamantium Real Estate. By the way, his LinkedIn page is kind of nerdy because he says my real estate entity for Skinwalker Ranch is Adamantium Real Estate, which was inspired by Wolverine's claws. Really nerd guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on March 31st, 2020, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch was released with 4 seasons running through April 2023. The series picks up season 5. It's going to air this April 2024. And then there's another season. I don't know if it's the finale, but it is slated in 2025. Now, this show is a reality style show, which I cannot stand.
Right. Because you automatically think fake. There's no way.
It seems it's always scripted.
Yeah.
And if I could watch this show without this dramatic music behind it,
and the zoom in camera.
the zoom in
Yeah.
camera, like anybody says something like, hey, did y'all see those bones?
Dun, dun, dun.
And then the camera zooms in and somebody will say something that's off the cuff.
Yeah, it
Like,
ruins
you know
it.
what? I don't like the way you tie your shoes. And then everybody's in the,
And the zoom in on
And
the
I
serious
can't-
faces.
I can't stand it. So, but I'm trying to get through it for this podcast.
For science.
For science. Now, I didn't go down the rabbit hole that Joey went down
Yeah, don't do it.
for the lore, but I have watched, I'm into the 2nd season. And I will say for me to get past the reality and the distaste I have for that style, there are factual scientific things that they discover on this ranch
Yeah.
that is valid.
Yeah,
Because-
they were finding anomalies in the air that were thrown off their instruments.
well, these are astrophysicists.
Yeah, this dude, Roll
scientists.
Tide.
Yes.
This dude is from Huntsville, Alabama, and he's always bringing in Bama boys over here
Yeah.
for his friends from the University of Alabama, from Huntsville, and he works for the aerospace Rocket Center in Huntsville. He's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, it's real deal.
And I guess Fugel brought him in thinking, hey, I want you to do, and it seems like he brings him in like, hey, we're doing this show. I want you to go research and do experiments out here. And I forgot his name. I forgot the guy's name.
Which
I
one?
don't have it.
Dragon?
The main Travis.
Oh, Travis.
Travis, that's his name. He's kind of sitting there like, I really don't know what you expect from me. Like, what do you want? I'm an astrophysicist. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And he kind of talks him through it, and then the show starts, and they just weird stuff happens all the time. Like, they'll get these weird ionized radiation spikes, and then they're gone.
Oh, what about the security going down a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, camera footage, camera lines being cut, removed. There's stories of some guy. I mean, it's kind of
there was
weird.
one story.
Go ahead.
That was interesting that I wrote down. But there's a guy that his name was Winterton. I don't know if he's in the show or not. Winterton.
It doesn't sound familiar. Maybe in the next season.
He does like security and all that stuff for the ranch.
I know
But
Dragon is the head of security.
Yeah.
His name's
Yeah,
Dragon.
Dragon's the head of security, which I guess there's a lot of stuff that goes to him too. Like I guess a lot of the interns or something like have to give him coffee every single morning, and there's a lot of weird stuff behind this
and
Dragon
his faces
guy.
are the worst.
Dude.
Okay.
Yes.
He's always
I
got
haven't
this
seen-
face.
I don't know what he looks like.
He's
I'm not
mean
he's always
mugging
like
all
this.
the time.
Wait a minute. You want to dig? No. When
that kind of seems
bad
like
things happen when you dig on this ranch, we're not digging.
yeah.
I'm just
Well,
trying
that-
to keep
And there's
you
always
safe.
this controversy thing.
That does
Yeah.
bring up a point though, because in the Shermans' original, when they originally bought the ranch from the family that lived there before, which I think I have that in my notes,
Okay.
but in the clause, one of the clauses was like, "Hey, you have to notify us if you dig on this ranch." I'm like, "Dude, it's not your ranch anymore."
Dude,
He's like,
I
"Yeah, but you
will-
just need to approve it with us first." It's like,
Really, I didn't find anything of someone living there before the Shermans.
really?
Yeah,
there was
I'd
a
like to
family.
know that.
Well, somebody had to live there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, somebody owned it before, and they didn't.
Was it like maybe a Native American family? Was it?
I don't know much about it. There's not really a
I
bunch of
wonder.
information about them, but weirdly enough, they didn't say anything weird.
But here's what's funny.
But people around them did during
Yeah,
before
all
that time.
you have all these tribes that are surrounding this.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get this piece of property away from the Native Americans? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I need to go back and research that.
dude. That's another episode, bro.
I was going to say this.
It's not.
It is another episode. How did this Skinwalker Ranch how'd they snatch it away? The white man snatched it away again.
I actually have that in my notes.
Okay,
Oh,
anyway.
okay, you do have that.
I will say this.
Hey, I never got to get done with my story.
Oh, you got a story? Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Finish it.
I was going into Winterton.
Hey, give us some Winterton.
Yeah, where's Winterton?
Okay, well, it says Winterton and his wife went into the command center because the security cameras went down one night. They heard what they claimed was the sound of someone running into the back room. They found nothing. Then they heard a voice say, "You need to leave now."
You need to leave
I don't know
now.
if it said that or not, but
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet.
they
Maybe
left,
that's-
got in the car, and noticed their phones were frozen. Devices didn't work again until they were off the property.
That's the other thing. Phones, electronics, everything goes crazy.
And then I guess at Homestead 2 and 3, guests have experienced acute medical episodes. They've experienced temp drops and claim to have seen specters walking through walls. Did you know Post Malone went there in 2021?
Whoa, come on, tell
He
me
went
about
to
that.
Home-
What
That's
are you
what's
doing?
wrong with him.
He went to Homestead 2. They left a few hours past dark after experiencing unexplained disturbing paranormal activity. So he was like, I'm out. Yeah. He went
I'm
to
not-
hang out at Homestead 2. Like,
I'm
not
not
worth
going.
it.
I'm not going there.
Oh, dude, there ain't no way, bro.
Okay,
I don't wanna
Homestead.
live
Okay, let me just talk about some of the stuff I've seen so far, because you just mentioned it. Homestead 2, a man and a woman, I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
They're considered the caretakers.
of the Homestead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of the ranch.
Okay,
They're called
okay.
the caretakers of the ranch.
Okay.
They stay in that house at Homestead, and they always hear stuff. They always hear the knocking. They always hear weird stuff going on. And one time, so they got Travis and his team to go down. They went to the basement. There was this thick piece of concrete that was created or built up in this little space, and they drilled into it, and then they knocked the wall down. And it was just a small room, concrete room that was sealed up.
Ugh.
and they found
Animal bones.
bone fragments that were burned because there was ash involved with it too inside this thing. So
Sounds like a burning of
that
sacrifices.
was weird. And then they sealed it up. So that was weird.
Oh, dude, that's.
Wouldn't that make sense to what you were saying? Like the
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
So that was weird.
Put a pin in that for now.
Okay,
listeners.
so they found bone fragments, and they were like, "There's no way an animal could get out in here and died because the bones are fragmented.
Yeah.
Something fragmented these bones, but it was sealed up." Okay, so they kind of left that alone. They were like, "Oh, that's weird," and then they have seen several what they call UFOs because they couldn't identify them. Orbs that come out of the sky when they're shooting rockets into the air because. What Travis figured out, he triangulated the RF interference up above a mile above the ranch, and he triangulated it to be in one spot. So they tried to take a weather balloon up there and read it with instruments, and then all of a sudden, the weather balloon just disappeared. It went off.
Instruments went out.
The instruments went out.
Yeah.
So then he got somebody to come in from Huntsville with some rockets to get all he wants is data.
yeah.
He wants some data. He shoots a rocket up through the place where it's supposed to be
This triangle. that they
triangle, where
created.
the source is,
Yeah.
and he finds out that there's a source above the ranch that's kind of like and he's thinking that because they did this I don't know what the name of it is, but they did some kind of sonogram under the ground, and they saw these weird cone shapes under the ground. So it almost reminds him of a satellite dish that's under the ground and then triangulates above the ranch. So it seems to him that something is coming up from the ground, causing this disturbance up here, and then it's I don't know. It's
Creating
all
a portal, man.
Yeah, it's all
It's a portal, dude.
every time
Portal.
they start messing and trying to figure these
interdimensional
things out,
portal.
something will happen.
Well, like,
Like
and when
a
he
cow
did
will die.
Well, no, when they did the rockets, like the cow, instead of the cows running away from the rocket and all the noise and everything, they ran to it. And it showed video of
weird.
them acting like really, really crazy. Like I've never seen cows like kicking and at each other.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
weird. I mean, I've seen cows. Like I'm from Alabama, so I've seen some cows.
I've been out in the cow now.
And these cows were like, they looked like they were in a mosh pit. It was really weird. And they ran toward.
Losing their minds.
Just listen to Lamb of God.
Yeah.
And then one cow actually died, and they did an autopsy, or the veterinarian came out
Is
and
that
did
the
a
one
cause
that
of
had
death.
like the lightning bolt looking thing going through it?
No, this one they opened him up and found out that he had pneumonia in his lungs.
No, ammonia.
Ammonia?
Ammonia.
I thought he died from pneumonia.
No, he had ammonia because of the
Okay, he said he died
fear.
because of a stress. Something stressed
Yeah.
him out, and he died. And then if they're looking at the footage as the cow's trying to get up, and right before he dies, they notice a black dot above the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a frame, and the dot is over here. And then all of a sudden, it's over the top of the cow in a split second.
Mm.
And somebody's like, "Was that a bird?" He said, "No, birds don't fly that fast."
Yeah.
well,
'Cause
they
that's-
don't disappear in mid.
Yeah, and it's just and then the cow died. So stuff like that is going on.
Well, and
on
the cow, like all of the cows were left.
Oh yeah,
And
this one cow was dying. The
just
rest of the
there.
cows went to the far side of the ranch as far as they could go, and they just huddled up under some trees.
Yeah.
And they had video of all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So I haven't finished the show, and of course, anybody listening to this podcast is probably
These
that's
poor
rec-
cows. All
that's
I can
rec-
think of, like,
yeah.
you're going to live on Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, also they had a video of they brought in 2 alpacas because they wanted to get some
Oh,
kind
no,
of
not the alpacas. They're
Yeah.
cute.
some kind of
Yeah,
different.
they said they
animal.
wanted some exotic animal to come in.
and they had video of the alpacas. Like you can see the camera kind of fall.
But it was blurry.
Yeah,
of course.
every time.
The camera fell. You saw the camera fall, but you could see the alpacas like freaking out, and then you could see something attacking the alpacas.
Well, here's the thing with
Aw,
that. The
poor
dude, the
alpaca.
caretaker, said he ran out to it and was hitting on the thing, but he never said
he
what
said
it was.
an animal, but
He said it was an
didn't-
animal that attacked the alpaca, But he didn't say what it was. I'm like,
You don't just say something's just an animal. Like
Well,
it's either going to be a wolf,
right?
Or
Why
like
didn't
a-
you? Why
a
didn't you
bear
say
or-
something like you saw
There's
it?
two things, or mountain
That-
lion. There's
that
going
was
to be
kinda-
very distinctive. What's going to be killing?
I felt like that was kind of okay. A wolf got in a pen, and y'all are trying to amp this up.
Right.
Maybe
That's what I-
it was
that's
the
what I
behavioral
felt like.
thing. Maybe it was a behavioral thing.
Maybe the dire wolf is in there.
Maybe
I
it was
don't
a
know.
snake.
Well, let's get to
The dragon.
Yeah, the dragon.
let's get to the lore, man.
Let's go.
Oh, is there
Hop
lore here?
Let's
Oh,
hop
yeah.
hop
Let's
over
go,
to my
Lord
notes real quick.
Daddy,
Lord Daddy, Lord Dog.
Lord Dog.
You got some ancient Navajo lore?
I do, and I feel like a lot of this can be explained through this lore.
Okay, here we
And
go.
I'm going to attempt.
So all the weird stuff that we're doing, trying to be scientists, you're going to explain it with lore.
oh, bro.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, because lore comes from something.
well,
right?
yeah, there's
I
a
mean,
lot
this
of
is
lore.
what caused the worship music at 11 o'clock last night. So I'm
Lore.
interested
Oh,
to
yeah.
hear
There's
it.
a lot of lore in the past.
Well, because
And
you
it's
know,
the Navajo tribe.
Navajo tribe and the
And
Ute
the
people.
Ute.
Ute.
Ute
Tribe.
people. It was
Ute.
their. It was their. This is what they believed.
Okay.
So the Navajo people, like you said, according to a Skinwalker, according to Navajo American lore, particularly in the Navajo Dine culture, is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to possess or disguise themselves as an animal. The term Skinwalker has its roots in the Navajo word Yi Nald Lushi, which translates to, like you said, he who walks on all fours. Skinwalkers are considered to be amongst the most dreaded and malevolent witches in Navajo lore. Having used their powers for evil purposes, the legend suggests that to become a Skinwalker, a Navajo witch must commit the most serious of taboos, the killing of a close family member. Once the deed is done, the witch gains supernatural powers, including shape-shifting abilities, which they use to terrorize others.
Sheesh. Hey, let's kill Grandma.
Which, to this, I have known people that in my past that have gotten relatively high up in the Satanic Church
Oh,
and have gotten
seriously?
out.
Really?
And he told stories of shapeshifters that could transform into wolves. And this was not even Navajo lore. This is just another guy like, hey, I've seen this.
The Anunnakis.
Black magic. Demon,
Black magic, demonic.
which is all very real, obviously.
Absolutely.
Everyone knows. You can't say that's not real.
And he said, this was years ago now, but he said that even, years before that, when he was a part of it, he said they've been bothering me since, visiting
Since
me,
he got out.
knocking on windows, haunting him. These Skinwalkers are these spirits, right? So these entities are often depicted as cunning and elusive, capable of transforming into various animals, but they are associated with creatures like wolves, coyotes, bears, and birds. They are believed to use these forms for travel, espionage, and causing harm to others. In animal form, they may possess physical attributes or anomalies that distinguish them from regular animals, such as unusually large size, human-like eyes, or the ability to walk upright on hind legs.
That would be creepy.
The Skinwalkers are designed as being mostly animalistic physically, even when they are in human form. They were
Hairy
reportedly,
men.
yeah, they were reportedly near impossible to kill, except with a bullet or knife dipped in white ash.
Or silver.
Oh, yeah, the ash.
From their basement. When you think,
Yeah, they
about
did
that.
find ash in there. With those
White
bones.
ash.
Yeah,
From
it was
bones.
white ash, yeah.
Right? That's why I said put a pin in it. So, which, just to add another story of just the Skinwalker, kind of near that area, there were stories of a guy that he had a bunch of goats, and there was this one black goat that he didn't recognize, and he was like, whose goat? What is this? And then he went to go chase after it and get it, and he said that it stood up on both hands and said something to it and then ran off on 2 feet.
What? No.
Yeah, dude. Creepy stuff. I'm like, what? And it was a black goat, too. So, Skinwalkers are said to have the ability to mimic human voices, to lure victims into traps, or to their deaths.
Oh, no.
They are feared and respected in Navajo culture, and discussing them openly is often avoided, as it is believed that talking about these things can attract their attention and wrath. Little more is known about the purported being, as the Navajo are staunchly reluctant to discuss it with outsiders, even among other traditional belief portends that speaking about the malevolent beings is not only bad luck, but makes their appearance all the more likely. So, yeah, so they're like freaked out about this time. So, the 512. Were you gonna ask a question?
Yeah, I thought they also had to do like some weird sex stuff.
That's good. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that. There's more. But wait, there's more.
We'll be right back.
The 512 acres of land now called the Skinwalker Ranch. So the ranch is located in what is considered to be the path of the Skinwalker by the Navajo people. The term is derived from the Navajo legend of the malevolent witches capable of transforming into animals, as previously mentioned. This area is reputed to be cursed or imbued with malevolent forces, a belief that predates the contemporary reports of paranormal phenomenon associated with the property. The Ute tribe, whose ancestral lands encompass the region where the ranch is located, have long believed the area to be fraught with supernatural dangers. They, along with the Navajo, share a rich tradition of stories and beliefs regarding skinwalkers and their entity. The lore suggests that the land around the ranch is a battleground of sorts of these supernatural forces, contributing to the high incidence of unexplained phenomena reported there. According to some accounts, the lore indicates the Navajo cursed the land as a result of historical conflicts with the Ute, and that's what you mentioned, leading to its current state as a hot spot for paranormal activity. The Navajo are known for their deep spiritual practice and said to have cursed the land in retaliation for the grievances or conflicts, invoking the malevolent spirits or forces, including Skinwalker, to afflict the area.
So they lived on this property?
The Navajo people did. Yeah. So this, from my research, there was this entity that they knew about. Okay. And the Navajo, I'll just read my next. For the Navajo people, witchcraft is just another part of their spirituality and one of the ways, in quotation, of their lives. As such, witchcraft has long been a part of their culture, history, and traditions. Witches exist alongside humans and are not supernaturals. So,
Do you need to blow your nose? All I keep hearing is just boogies.
Gross, dude.
I can hear it. You're like,
Oh, don't you love the wife being on?
Dude,
oh yeah, the light.
lay it
Yeah,
off
call
me,
you out,
bruh.
dude.
My goodness,
They
I'm
will call
trying.
you
it's just
out.
like right into the mic.
I'm trying to get some lore, and you're gonna
Sounds like wet boogie in the nose.
Sounds
All right.
like you're getting something else besides lore.
edit this out.
Anyway,
He's not going to, but
Nope.
No. Anyway, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out. This land is bordered by Native Americans.
this was their land first,
Their land first. I'm
Right.
trying to figure out who
and they warred over this land.
the Utes and the Navajo.
Yep, the Utes and the Navajo for centuries, long time. 15. I think one of my notes says for 15 generations they've known about the Skinwalkers in this land.
Maybe that's why they gave it up. 'cause
That's
it
what I was gonna
cursed.
say,
They're
that-
like, hey, y'all can have it, white
Well,
people.
They didn't give it up. So scroll down a little bit, which we're gonna have to bounce back up. But so,
Oh, you talking about the witch purge?
yep.
Oh, let's talk about that. That sounds interesting.
So
1878.
the Navajo witch purge of 1878, which initially involved a cultural response to so many people moving across into their lands. After a series of wars with the U.S. Army, the Navajo were expelled from their land and forced the march to the Bosque Redondo, Fort Sumner in New Mexico, what is now known as the Long Walk of the Navajo. During these years, many of the tribe members were said to have turned to shape-shifting to escape terrible
Oh, okay.
conditions.
That makes sense.
In the meantime, the rest of the tribe was convinced that their gods had deserted them.
They're like, I'm shifting out of here. I'm out of here.
Yeah. So,
I'm not going down there.
but after some time, the U.S. Army felt bad about what they did,
Oh.
and they actually gave them that land back. So then
Do they feel
The
bad,
fi-
or do they just find out it was also like?
I don't
Wait. You mean the 512 acres currently that
Yeah,
they said,
went
hey,
back
you know
to-
what? Here,
They said, go ahead, go
yes,
back to
go
it.
back to that.
I mean,
So-
when have we ever done that?
I was about to say,
in
who-
the U.S. for any other thing?
Well, I mean,
That we've
they
taken
do
from the
have
Native Americans.
reservations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
I don't
basically
think we've ever done that, have we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
they
give them
did right
reservations,
here. They
dude.
give them right back.
That's
dude.
not the same.
No.
you
It's
know.
not?
Heck no.
Well,
They
they
live in
do have.
poverty.
They do. Well,
Well, they have casinos. That's not
Are you
very
talking about?
impoverished.
And they have
impoverished.
all the gaming rights. They can go anywhere and
They
hunt,
can hunt, yeah.
on
I know,
anybody's
but they
land.
still have so much like stipulations on what they're allowed to do and
Yeah.
all
That's
that.
true.
Have you ever watched Yellowstone?
No.
I'm waiting for it to come on VidAngel, so
Yeah.
skip some of those dresser scenes.
Scroll back up.
It's a good little spot about the
I am gonna watch.
Rest.
I am gonna watch the prequels.
of what.
So I'm going
Yellowstone?
18, and then 19, and then I'm gonna watch the modern day. I feel like I should do that.
What are you talking about?
The old,
The Dutton family,
There's prequels to
18.
Yellowstone.
yeah.
Oh,
that
really?
They've made
Yeah.
after they've made the show.
1843,
That would be a smart way to watch it.
and then go to 19, which is Harrison Ford, and then it
You
comes.
definitely would probably want to watch it on VidAngel though. 'Cause
Oh,
that's
sure.
the reason why we stopped watching it because it was just
Yeah,
too
it got a
dark
little
for me.
funky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got a
that's it.
little
Yeah,
funky.
Too much breasticles.
Breast. All right,
Game
scroll,
of Thrones.
scroll back up to my notes.
Oh, where we
please.
going?
Keep going up. Bam, bam, bam. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Was the land evil?
So, yeah. So it kind of lets me to
Well,
believe
sure it was.
What is the land? Why is there so much evil there now? And it kind of goes to what Jacob was saying, that a land holds. Like if there's so much dark power there, over time, that kind of tips the scales as far as like dark energy goes.
Yeah.
So you calculate in the amount of skinwalkers that came from that original walk of the tribe, which in my notes it says that skinwalkers are noticeably long living. Some of them living 200, 300 years, especially like some of the main ones according to the lore. So a lot of those guys that did that Navajo walk are still there now.
What?
Yeah.
On the
300
land
years.
right now?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. Skinwalkers, they're like unaging,
Is that confirmed?
according to their lore.
Well, I mean, if somebody went out to the ranch and said, "How old are you?"
Well,
No.
of course
I
not.
don't think
they're not.
Skinwalkers aren't like
I don't
take
think
my
they're coming
blood,
out and
see how
giving
old I
interviews.
am.
Well, no. It's not. It's an actual dude, right? It's not a dire wolf
But they're
walking around.
evil. They're evil skinwalkers. They're not gonna. They don't want you to know.
They're,
Well,
yeah, they're
can't
probably
we-
guys that haven't
Listen,
said
man.
that.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm a skinwalker.
That
He's just
Boyd
hairy.
Bushman said that alien was 230 years old.
Maybe it was a skinwalker.
Maybe it's a skinwalker.
It could have been. Seriously, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Legitimately.
It's all out there in Nevada.
It seriously could have. So the
Utah.
Navajo believe that there are places where powers, this is what I was talking about, where powers of both good and evil are present, and those powers can be harnessed for either. The medicine men, which underlines, you click on it, it means witchcraft, utilize these peers to heal. And
Why can't you tell me?
what?
Why you
underlined.
said it's
Click on
underlined. Click on it.
I said if you do it, it means
Yeah,
witchcraft.
yeah.
At the same point in time, at that same time, those who practice Navajo witchcraft seek to direct the spiritual forces to cause harm or misfortune to others. This type of Navajo witchcraft is known as the witchery way, which uses human corpses in various ways, such as tools for the bones and concoctions that are used to curse, harm, or kill intended victims. The knowledge of these powers is based down from elders through their generations.
The witchery way.
All right, have we gotten into the sex stuff yet?
I'm getting there.
Kayla's
Wow.
ready for that sex
What
stuff.
the
Because it's the weirdest part.
Just give me a second, dude.
I
Let
mean-
me snort some more snot up in my nose. real quick. Sometimes these witches evolved from living as respected healers or spiritual guides who later chose to use their powers for evil. Though they can either be male or female, they are more often male. They walk freely among the tribe during the day and secretly transform in the color of night. The evil society the witches gather in dark caves or secluded places for several purposes: to initiate new members, plot their activities, harm people from a distance with black magic, and perform dark ceremonial rites. These ceremonies are similar to other tribal affairs, including dancing, feasts, rituals, sand painting, but were corrupted with dark connotations. The evildoers are also said to engage in necrophilia with female corpses and commit cannibalism, incest, and grave robberies.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's freaking
Is
weird.
that this? No, what you're describing is what they used to do before we got here.
This is
That is
this
some dark stuff. I don't understand.
Is this
how
like their
that's
normal
just part of
day-to-day stuff when they were just?
this is like, okay, so the Skinwalker, okay, is basically there is medicine men of their tribe, okay, of
Yeah,
their
the
tribe.
weirdos.
Yeah, so they call them a shaman, whatever you want to call them, okay.
What's the definition of a shaman?
Well, it's a CBD shaman.
I don't know. Look it up.
I see it
But-
all the time.
A shaman a lot.
Through they are using. So we have a friend who used to go to what was that? Puerto Rico, Kayla. Was that where she did missionary work? And she said that they had witches that were over their baseball teams.
Haiti. Hun.
Haiti.
Oh, Haitians.
Yeah, they have witches as like baseball or soccer mascots.
As soccer mascots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The
That's
witch.
normal. They do
yeah,
lots
and-
of
You mean the actual
black
witch?
magic voodoo.
Yes.
Not somebody dressed up as a mascot. of
No,
a
they're
witch. This
witches.
actual-
They're
okay.
literally out there
That's, like,
casting
part of their
curses on
culture.
the other team. It's like as the game's going on, there's the spiritual warfare of the two witches battling in the background.
That's just kind of
I
weird.
heard the Chiefs have that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Do we
Really?
really?
Well, yeah.
Dude, I
Crazy.
gotta hear about that.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, you called it out.
No, here's what's weird for that is that you would stoop so low to use your witchery to do the outcome of a baseball game.
Because you don't trust your team.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
why don't you try world domination or something like that? Why?
Why a winning baseball game?
Why that's just kind of weird to me. Why don't you take over the government and do something really sinister?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they're working out of the most sinister. I mean, they're altering the spiritual world. They're
For baseball.
They're using demonic powers. Yeah,
For
because
baseball.
You got to
Well,
start somewhere.
You have to be wanting to do
I mean,
Think about
just
that.
pretty-
everybody just think about that. Baseball.
you think about that.
I am thinking about
Think about it right now. So you have
How about checkers
an entire society. You have
or
an
chess?
You have an entire society that believes that this witchcraft has power, which it does. They've
Yeah,
seen it
the
firsthand.
Haitians do. They're all over.
So you have X number of souls that are lost now. And what's Satan's ultimate goal? Whether it's to
He's the
separate
father
people
of
from
lies,
God.
dude.
Exactly, dude.
He sits on the throne of lies.
That is his Super Bowl over there, dude. That's dark magic. You know what I mean? So
All I can think of, going back to the witch thing,
yeah.
is
dramatic
Pause for
pause
effect.
for
Yeah,
dramatic
pause for
pause.
dramatic effect. I'm trying to like
The
wrap my
witchery.
mind around
The
the words.
witchery.
The witchery that's going on.
Uh-huh.
In order to do necrophilia, cannibalism, all of that, I feel like you are trying to access a whole different level of dark magic, like
Yeah.
demonic possession of something, which would make sense as a skinwalker because they're known to be powerful, bigger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They could do, which the devil is known to give people power when they
Oh,
are
yeah.
giving away a certain amount of doing bad things, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that is the worst of the worst. Like, what the heck?
Well, in
Is
order
there-
to gain, so that's part of the thing is in order to gain those to go up the next step because they're, like I said, these were medicine men. So they, in their minds, before they became a skinwalker, they were using white magic, which is good magic,
They say
which
it's
doesn't,
good magic.
which
yeah.
doesn't exist.
No,
Right. Just
But-
magic.
it's just lesser magic.
In order to gain to that next level, so basically for Satan to give you that next level of power,
you have to do more messed
you
up
have to
stuff.
sacrifice, and that's what Jacob was saying. There's a scale of evil, and
Yeah.
it's like has to build. It's like you have to build on these, and that's still a thing today.
Right.
Like a lot of times in these like child rings and stuff like that, or like the Illuminati. I think you guys were talking
You have
about
to
how
do more worse stuff to get higher up.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's who I was. I was reading a biography on I think Aleister Crowley.
Mr. Crowley.
Yeah. But he was part of a society. I think it was called like the New Dawn Society. He was a part of all this weird demonic stuff. But
Yeah.
in his works, it would talk about how they would bring young kids into him and do all these horrific acts because that evil would give him more power in
Yeah.
his witchcraft. And it's the same thing here. It's like
So it's all about results.
it's all about
Adrenochrome.
Whatever I'm
results.
trying to do, I get the results
Yeah.
I can get.
So you
Adrenochrome, man.
you have
Huh?
these.
Adrenochrome.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
adrenochromers.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing too. They have to give fear for that stuff to be effective.
And that's why Google's evil and that they named their browser Chrome.
Uh-huh.
That makes
So the
sense.
Yeah, it makes
adrenochrome.
sense.
Yeah.
But these
I
these
don't know.
I don't know, but that is good.
Yeah.
the leader of the Skinwalkers is usually an old man who's very powerful and long-lived Skinwalker. These witches live on the unexpired lives of their victims.
Oh.
And they must continue.
Unexpired. They're not expired yet.
Yep. They must continually kill or perish themselves. So, boom.
Sheesh.
The UT, okay, scroll up real quick.
Yeah, where you go?
In 1990s, like you said, the ranch, the Sherman Ranch, cattle mutilations, crop circles, located near the UT Indian Reservation. These people have long thought that the Navajo put a curse on their tribe in retribution for many perceived transgressions. Since then, skinwalkers have plagued the UT people. Before the UT moved to the reservation, they were once a fierce and warlike people who lived primarily in Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. At one time, the UT and Navajo fought together against their common enemies. However, when the UT first required horses from the Spanish, they began to abduct Navajo people and sold them in New Mexico slave markets. The UT believe that the Skinwalker presence in Uinta Basin extends back at least 15 generations. They don't believe that Skinwalkers.
Okay.
They don't believe that the Skinwalkers live on the ranch, but rather hide out in a place called the Dark Canyon, which is located nearby.
Oh, the Dark Canyon. Okay. How do they manipulate all this radio frequency stuff that's going on and radiation? You know what I'm saying? From the show, they're picking up ionized radiation.
Yeah, they are. Well, I mean, that is what, I mean, who knows what the spiritual realm.
Yeah, here's one theory. Because there were so many test spots in Nevada of those nuclear bombs we talked about in Area 51.
Yeah,
a lot of that fallout actually cover Utah.
Yeah,
and that's why they think that's possible that a lot of ionized radiation is picking up on the Geiger counter because of those testing sites.
Yeah,
and
that could be it, and they're just not correlated, and they just think they are. I don't know. I mean. Yeah, I mean, like we said, man, it's difficult. They're extremely hard to kill. There's stories of them being able to shapeshift into like moving orbs, that sort of thing.
They're
from
thinking
the people.
Also they're going with this theory too. They're theorizing that there's actual wormholes and portals that are being opened up.
Yeah,
I believe it.
And these are interdimensional beings that are coming here, and maybe that's.
Well, they're all alien.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I think they're angels or
demons or whatever.
Their elder race. Our elder race still has technology running around.
Yeah,
and maybe they gave them all of this evil stuff, like normal Navajo Ute people. Hey, do this. Hey, if y'all do this, you can work all this kind of magic stuff and do skinwalking stuff.
Well, it's
maybe we're dealing with two types of people here.
It could be, because a lot of the stuff that they are talking about on the show would only be done by someone who is outside of the dimension. Like they talk about the cameras being cut.
Yeah.
Like within milliseconds of a time. So it's almost like whatever entity is doing this is outside of that. It's some sort of fifth dimensional being. And that's what these skinwalkers, they're calling on demons. The demons are giving the power to switch to wolves, and then this place, if there's a huge influx of skinwalkers, it's going to be riddled with demonic activity.
And that's why the activity's so high in this particular land.
In this particular land. It makes me think of a story, and this is out of that movie Furious Love, I think I told you about. But there's this
the missionaries.
Missionary. He went to a village. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like in the rainforest and stuff. And they had him sit through one of their rituals. And what they would do is they would go deep into the woods, and they wouldn't eat or drink anything. And they would literally sit here, and for days and days and days, they would meditate and visualize the top of their skull being open. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, weird stuff. So they would sit there.
I visualize my skull being open.
Yeah, and they would
painful.
They would just sit there and meditate, and basically opening themselves up to the spiritual realm, saying, "Hey, please come possess me." And the guy was sitting there.
Sounds like, what is that, astral projection though?
I
The
guess.
same thing when they're having to focus like on their body.
Pretty much.
leaving.
Through meditation, they're opening themselves to be
Yeah.
possessed. And the guy noted that whenever, like, there was a specific time, like the third day after all this meditation, there were posted up by another opening to hell. In their minds, they in their language, I can't remember what it was, but he said you could visually see these dark spirits coming out of this gateway, and just one right after, just being absorbed in these people, these demonic entities and demonic spirits. And then those people would go on to be like the shaman of other tribes that are like, they're basically demonically possessed. Yeah. And he's like, dude, you could see them in like with the naked eye, these spirits just absorbing into these people.
Wow.
And you know, it's the Skinwalker Ranch. They're doing necrophilia. They're killing people. They're getting their bones for the ritualistic.
They were. I don't know if they're still doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you think they're still doing it?
Yes, they have
What?
to be.
What?
The
You think they're going
Skinwalker-
down into caves with their witches and having sex with the dead people?
Absolutely. I
So,
think
so the
I
borderlands
think
that
that's
are
why
having.
Fugel's so weird.
So all the land that's bordering Skinwalker Ranch, you think that's still going on with these tribes?
I think 100% it's still
what?
going on. Yeah, because even
I thought
with
they evolved.
no, not at all. Because even like in a lot of the documentaries, you'll walk around the edge of the fence line, and then excuse me,
Easy.
and the Uti people will be hanging body limbs.
No.
Of,
Are you serious?
Yeah, as a protective
Okay,
circle.
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
As a protective circle. So they still are very deeply rooted in witchcraft and spiritualism. So there is I absolutely 100% believe that there is
Like a tribe that still
a
lives on
tribe
the
of-
ranch somewhere?
they do. That's a reservation around there, not on the ranch.
Oh, but
but
you mean
this-
around it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
around
because
there.
it shows from an aerial view the ranch and the outline and all the bordered tribes that are on the border. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On
Absolutely.
the borders.
Yeah, so I think 100% there are skinwalkers in that area, shape-shifting human beings. It's probably an extremely powerful area for them too, because of the evil, because of the long-lasting generations of evil in that area, the huge demonic presence of that area. It's like that land has been so
Just
demonic.
infused.
Yeah, so demonic for 15 generations of people have been doing this cursing and necrophilia and cannibalism and, just surrounded that area. And
I'm gonna
I'd
finish.
hate to be a dead person buried out
Have you?
there.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
You just never know when you're going to
you haven't seen the show
I've never
on
seen
history. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, so I'll start. I'm going to finish it
It
because
makes us pay for it.
there's
I'm
some
not about
interesting
that.
interesting things under the ground that they haven't discovered yet that they're
Like
seeing.
the caves.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
Or you
seeing
mean
something.
digging, like-
They drill down and hit something hard, and the drill bit wouldn't go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
something under there.
as
Yeah,
far
there's
as
a
if,
cave system, I'm sure.
if
and
there's
people listening to this right now, I've already finished this. You're an idiot.
well, when you
You
think
know, my
about it,
dad's Nova.
Yeah.
when you think about it, maybe that first family was in on it, dude. They could have been.
The Shermans?
They could have been.
don't
No,
think so.
not the Shermans. The family before the.
Yeah, I need to
Shermans.
find out who
yeah.
that was.
I'm curious to know if they had like any Native American, like Navajo.
Scroll up. I
Oh,
think
you've got something here?
I think I do. Let me double check.
Well, see, it says after the Shermans.
Here, let's
Or
do
it
a
might be
quick little
down.
Google.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. It's Hunt for the Skinwalker. That's the book.
Oh, there it is.
That's the book that talks about, him killing or
It's
shooting.
got all the crazy stories. It's a good read for sure. Let me see.
It just says here it became famous after Terry and Gwen Sherman got it. But before that, you just talk about Navajo.
Scroll up. It
And
might
the
be at
Utes.
top.
You're talking about the witch. Yeah, we've seen all this. The witch purge.
I think it might be at the very top. Go up.
Are you serious?
I think so. Or the very bottom.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. I hadn't seen it.
All right, then it's on the
There's
bottom.
the yeet.
Go down.
Let's just go to the bottom and scroll up.
Go down. Yeah. up,
Culture. It's not there.
Kenneth and Edith Myers.
Oh, here we
owned
go.
it
That's what it
from
is.
1934 until
Thank you.
1994.
There we go.
So
Wow.
they owned it for like 60 years.
Long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Michael Myers
Well.
and his
maybe.
mother.
Yeah,
lived
So
there
that's where
their
they got it from.
whole life.
That's where they got the John Carpenter used to sit with the Myers family on this ranch, and that's where he came up with the story of Halloween.
Oh,
Maybe.
what? Really?
But-
Is that thing?
Well, yeah, think
No.
about it.
Well, I mean,
He just pulls stuff out of his butt.
I mean, that makes
I
sense
know,
to me now.
whenever he's like talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, really?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it makes so much
I
sense.
never
It's good.
believe
it's
it.
so profound.
Real?
But they had to have been in on it, dude. Think about that. They had
Kenneth
the,
and Edith Myers does not sound like any type of Native American family.
that
No,
doesn't
but
mean
I'll
that-
guarantee
that
you
doesn't
that-
mean- they could have been witchcraft,
Good
though.
old Edith. and
They could have
Kenneth.
been in on the demonic powers.
You said 1934.
Yeah, 1934 until 1994.
No, I wonder
they
who's-
owned that for
Let's
60
keep
years.
let's keep going back further than that. Then
It doesn't on Google. So
1878,
Okay.
dude.
gotta figure it out.
that's what I'm saying. It's so Navajo War until 1934. Probably they just vacated, and went. We want nothing to do with
yeah,
this
that's
land.
as far back as the ownership.
And
will go.
then, what had to buy? Somebody had to buy it. We got to get to the bottom of that.
Well, I mean, it was their land. They gave it up, and
they just gave it up, and it's there. And then the Myers just got here and said, "Hey, this is ours." They put a flag in it.
They must have. They had to have. I don't know. So, I mean, anyway, the only thing I can think of is the Myers. I mean, I'm sure they're going to uncover more stuff, but it's either they were trying to kill them or they knew some spiritual ways, because you talk about the ash, or maybe that ash in the basement, they were burning bones. They could have been doing some witchcraft too.
They could have thought that they were doing something to prevent. Maybe they learned some stuff and then they sealed it up, thinking they're sealing up some kind of demonic activity.
Well, I don't know though, because in their clause, remember, it said that
don't dig.
don't dig.
Well,
Because you're
I mean,
gonna-
they didn't dig, but
There's been fracking on the
Easy.
whole entire ranch.
Hey, watch your mouth.
what do you
man.
mean? What are you talking?
They've done fracking. There's like 8,000 gas pockets and oil pockets and stuff. But
Oh, really? Well,
what
who's
you
done
said
that? I mean,
earlier- what you said earlier was I think you were joking around, but for real, it says that a series of nuclear weapons took place in rural Nevada between 1951 and 1962, resulting in radiation fallout across the state of Utah.
Yeah.
so I
so-
think that's where they're getting spikes.
Yeah.
Why it spikes in certain areas, then it goes away. I don't know. I don't know how ionized radiation behaves.
It
Well, it's
doesn't
just-
behave like that. I don't
It's
think.
the clouds of the way that it carries across the wind and stuff will carry like
But
clouds of
it'll get down on
plutonium.
it'll get down in the ground.
Yeah.
Probably in the water system.
Yeah, in the water system, in the birds, in the worms. I mean, there was
And
a
just
big,
it'll mutate.
just like that Area 51 book. One of the big things that they were worried about was like, hey, all these plutonium enriched areas, the worms are going to get them. The birds will eat the worms, and we're taking plutonium worms all over the place, dude. People are dropping like flies.
Well, the flies are there. They're nuclear testing grounds for flies.
So I don't know. I mean, what do you think, dude? You think it's
I'm gonna still do some research on it. I think it's a weird place to live. I'm even though I hate reality style shows, I'm gonna get through this. I think they're doing some good work there to try to scientifically figure out why all this weird phenomenon's happening.
It does say that the Myers never experienced anything until 1992, and when they did experience that, Kenneth was already dead.
What?
So I did find that he died in 1887.
So it was good until 94, and they were like, I'm out.
Yeah, 92. There had never been any signs before that of UFO or similar activity.
Here come the Shermans.
Yeah.
maybe the Shermans are in the witchcraft. Dude.
Maybe they were, but maybe they weren't because they got out of there quick.
They're only there 2 years.
I want to know what Bigelow was
Maybe
doing.
they were some Bible thumping people.
Well, actually,
and so nothing ever
there was-
bothered them.
I want to know what Bigelow was doing.
He was a Church of the Latter-day Saints.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, he belonged to
Well,
the
that's
Church of
that.
Latter-day
I mean,
Saints.
it's Utah. It's Mormon City, dude.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Mormon.
You know what I'm talking about? Joseph Smith.
O.J. Smith, bro.
Oh, that's going to do it for the Skinwalker episode. If we didn't cover enough, leave us, some comments. Tell us what we've got wrong and how much of an idiot I am. But you already comment on that, so it doesn't make
I'll
any
do that
sense.
for you.
Thank you. Make sure you visit us on our website, bottomofthat.com. You can check out our blog for all our show notes and resource material that we do on this show. Also, you can check our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're listening on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute, and you like this episode, share, subscribe, like, leave a comment. If you did not like this episode, I thank you for listening this long. Tune in next week when you might hear Susan say,
I got nothing.